HR Society comprises anything between, any given year, 150 to 250 members. And the members are mostly HR managers and administrators in their organizations, but we also have some small business owners who conduct HR duties and have HR responsibilities that also join as a member because they get the benefit of HR professionals, professional development, networking, tools and templates.
The biggest thing that has helped the HR industry in this country has been the development of the society and these annual events. It gives us an opportunity to come together, to share ideas, to work in a way that we don't get to when we're managing the day-to-day activities that we have to deal with as HR directors or managers.
The conferences are very important because, as we can tell, the world is experiencing an economic downturn right now. So a lot of organizations are finding it hard to cope with the number of employees that they have, considering that workloads are continuing to increase.
Well, specifically in Cayman, for me, it still comes down to the fact that HR as a profession is still quite young. It's still developing. In terms of my perception of HR, which is a more strategic focus rather than just the operations and admin side of things.
We've been in existence since 2000. I'm the 6th president of the society, and our vision really is to improve and be the leaders really in the HR community so that we can improve our businesses as a result.
Well, I think HR is going through a transformation. I think many years ago we were a transaction-oriented personnel function, and today we find ourselves being much more strategic in orientation. And a lot of that can be attributed to the fact-based decision science that HR has evolved into. We're relying more on metrics and key performance indices and performance analytics to measure outcomes. Just like a marketing or a finance professional has specific objectives that are quantifiable, HR executives have the exact same concept. So the more we can apply quantitative data to what we do, the more credibility, the more respect the function will have.
So 2 years ago, we had an idea of creating an initiative called Cayman's Top Employer Award. Basically, we're recognizing employers who meet the standards of achieving excellence in the workplace. There are 9 areas in which employers are scored, and each employer would have to score 70 points or more on their application in order to be recognized as a top employer.
Yeah, it's very, very important. When we started it in 2000, we realized that other associations like the accountants, the lawyers, the contractors, the tourism folks, they all had societies and associations. So we thought that we needed to elevate HR profession on the island. So we wanted to have a society or organization that we can do networking, we can have leadership and learning and development.
Right now, I think with the downturn in the economy, the largest issue that the HR managers are facing is motivating employees with less, retaining the talented employees because they're looking around, and there needs the global movement is into more learning and development, and the youngsters coming out of university today, that's what they're interested in. What are you going to give me? You know, why would I join you? What professional development do you have? How will I move up the ladder? And so it's in conflict with the economy right now. So I think the challenge for HR managers is doing more with less, but also moving into the realms of learning and development and professional development. And a lot of companies outsource that, and I think going forward, the HR professional is going to have to bring that in-house.
So we as HR professionals will have to do whatever it takes to ensure that our employee morale remains high, that turnover remains at the minimum, and that the work is being done at the best cost possible.
So it's really trying to get line managers to become good HR managers so that they're becoming the best managers that they can be.
This year we decided to make it all about professional development and personal development. So rather than having something on immigration improvements or Department of Employment Relations or pensions updates, we took the topic purely around professional learning and development. So conflict resolution, turning that into an opportunity for growth, how to improve your personal speaking skills. So as HR professionals, we're always the last to take advantage of that. So today it's quite selfish. It's about us and our improvement and our development.
And I feel that that's very important. We all meet as HR professionals on a regular basis, but most times we don't tend to interact. So I feel as if the interaction is very positive for us?
Really, I think the key message from the presentation that I gave today is that conflict doesn't have to be bad. There's a lot of positive tools that can come out of the conflict process. One of them is potentially idea generation, synergies that can be created when there's opposing ideas. So really it's not that conflict is bad, it's that it needs to be managed properly.
What I did today was I talked about social media in the workplace. It's really something that's for everybody, and it's something that it's not coming, it's here now. Rather than blocking people from getting to social media, what I wanted to do is talk about using social media in the workplace for things like learning, getting policies across.
The presentation was designed to be interactive, and I was hoping to garner some audience participation, and the audience was great. A lot of best practices, a lot of sharing of key learning. And I think the interaction made the event much more meaningful and much more dynamic.
Well, it's entitled Speak Unimpressed, and the real theme is to improve the attendees' personal presence and communication performance. So together today, they're going to shed their old standards and old notions and embrace new templates and strategies so that they really can communicate in a modern way.
It's critical. I think it's very important. HR in general as a profession is still developing in Cayman, and we need forums such as this conference.
We could have access to trends and best practices, and also to have some sort of certification so that HR professionals, whether they're at the practitioner level or professional level, will have some level of certification is recognized not just locally but internationally.
You're not on your own. Rather than being one HR individual, you've got a network of 160 other HR managers, and so you can look at best practices in some of the larger organizations on the island. I mean, we have a lot of international organizations here, and so they have international HR influence. So as a community, we need to jump around that and use that as a good benchmark.
Beneficial.